Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My video here that I am making. I finally have makeup on. I did this look today for work. I work inside Sephora, inside JCPenney, in my area where I live. So I wanted to do this review. And I mean, in a sense, it's a first impressions, but not really, because I already used the palette to create, again, this look today. Here, I'll give you like a little close-up on the eyeshadow. So that's kind of like a close-up there. Getting you real up close and personal. That's the Jeffree Star, the Alien palette. I purchased it through Beautylish. I ordered right as soon as the launch came out. And they back ordered so quickly, so I was nervous that mine was back ordered. Thankfully it was not. We all know how large the mirror is. And there is a palette in all its glory. So yes, this is the Jeffree Star Alien palette, and I'm sure you've seen already lots of swatches on it. So even though you probably would love for me to do that, you know, unfortunately I won't be doing that in this video. This is just to give you guys a little update on this palette, how I feel about it in general, and overall who I think the palette would be best for. So this is the Jeffree Star Alien palette, and as it says on the back here, that area 51 is not intended for use around the immediate eye area, and that's the purple pigment that I used. I did use that color today. And then if you see, in terms of swatch, I know I said I wasn't going to swatch. I'm such a scam. So that's kind of just one small finger swatch. And then if you kind of want to see what that looks like, that's that one for you. So in terms of color, it does come off, you know, slightly patchy, but if you can see, like, the color does build. I will say it is a little bit difficult to work with, but the base that I used for the eyeshadow look today was the one from Urban Decay. I used the Urban Decay Eden eye primer. So with that one, it's one that's able to, I think, really enhance the look overall of the shadow. I really enjoy that one, so that's what I used today. And again, that's the look of the eyeshadow. I really loved it. I loved how everything came out. I used Probe, which is this shade here. I used that one. It's kind of like, in a sense, kind of like a MAC blue-brown pigment. I feel like that's kind of what they were going for with this one. Obviously, swatch is amazing, and is amazing on the lids. Absolutely gorgeous with Area 51. I also took Martian Soil in the crease. I did that in the crease there, and then I did Gravity as my all-over blending. I also used Phone Home underneath the lash line. I wanted to create more of a smoky look, not so much purple and warm, more cool tone underneath. So what I decided to do, I actually went in and I used the Ghost OG shade, which actually comes off as a really interesting tone. It is like it's like an olive, like a deep olive gray sort of tone, if you can see that there. It's really interesting. So I used that one first. I went in with Black Hole, and I will say Black Hole is a very good black. It's a very good black. I am not at all mad at that. It's an amazing black. So I love that. It gets right in, does what it needs to do to deepen any look. And I used that as kind of like a smoky liner, smudged that. But I used Ghost OG really soft and blended that. And then I did Black Hole closer to the waterline, like almost like a liner in a sense. And after buffing that over the top, then I went back in to the inner corners, as they would say. And with the inner corners, I went ahead and retouched. And I went with the... Oh, there's the palette. I went in with, on the inner corner there, I used the shade UFO, which is that one there. And if you'd like to see a swatch, I know I'm a scam. I said I wasn't going to swatch. And here I am swatching just some of the shades for you. There is UFO, as you see, blinding. It is amazing in the inner corner. All of these eyeshadows that I use today, these pigments, I use them with just the primer, no glitter glue. And I always use a glitter glue, but I didn't use a glitter glue today. I just forgot. And I honestly was still very impressed with the wear. And this has been on already for, I want to say, I got ready around 2:30. So this has been on for at least 6 hours now. So 6 hours in, this is what the shadow looks like. And I think it looks amazing. I brought in the probe just on the in the middle there to give like that halo effect. I did UFO. I also brought in Titan on the top brow bone as a brow bone highlight and softener for the eye. And then I did Pluto. I have Pluto actually as a face highlight with a little bit of a Kat Von D Alchemist. But mainly it's Pluto that you're seeing there. So they have that as my highlight. So I used a lot of the palette. I also went in with Phone Home, which, let me see, I'll swatch Phone Home, which is this one here. I'll swatch Phone Home here. So you can see it's like an interesting, like mauve, dusty rose, like blush bronzer shade. So I actually used that as a blush today. And it was really pretty, and I just used a little bit because the pigment was very good. So I used a lot of the colors in the palette, and honestly, overall, I would say I am really impressed with this palette. Do I think it's the same quality as Blood Sugar? The Area 51 shade was a little bit patchy. I know that purples are very difficult to make. In the Blood Sugar, he has another purple-ish kind of color. Oh, it crosses my mind now. I forget. I'll be right back. I'm so unprepared, and this is going to be unedited, so you just saw all the mess back there, but whatever. The Blood Sugar palette has this color here. Root Canal. And if you see that one, like, let me see, Root Canal, and I'll just kind of do like that sort of a swatch. This, in a sense, is it a purple? I guess it's like a pink magenta, but look at that. That is like amazing. And so when I go into Area 51, like, let's see, like, you know, and I'm gonna give it a good, I gave it a good stir in there, you know. And so I go into Area 51. It's just, it's not the same, you know? And it ends up blending out nicely, but the color, to me, that color looks darker and not as bright in here as it does in the swatch versus the Root Canal. Is that what it's called? Root Canal is just as pigmented, just as bold as it is in the pan. So it's interesting, but overall though, this shimmers amazing. And the Area 51, like I said, I've got that actually, that's what I did all over the lid, and I also brought it into the crease. So as you can see, the Area 51 is there. It was, like I said, just a little bit difficult to work with, but overall, very, very happy with the palette. I think the best users for this one is really anyone who is bold enough or, you know, would want to even just consider trying, you know, some kind of, you know, different tones, or anyone who's interested in also a cool tone palette, because you don't necessarily have to, you know, go in with this all over the lid and think that that's going to be it, you know, and you don't have to use these other kind of bolder tones as an all over the lid or like in a bold way. You can definitely soften them up, and there's so many ways to get just a smoky look. Just use that Ghost OG with Black Hole, and bam, you've got an instant smoky eye. It's amazing. Space Cowboy, that's probably a one shadow look that you can do all over the lid and blend that in, on top and underneath, and you're done. So easy. Martian Soil, Phone Home, really easy matte crease tones to fit for most skin tones and just give a little bit of warmth or a little bit of cool toned. And then that soft shimmer. So I think definitely a versatile palette, but always preference for whoever's interested in it. I really love the Blood Sugar. I think that if you like red tones, this is a palette to go to. And I will also say in this moment that these shadows are the best red shadows that I've ever used. And these red shadows are the best red shadows on the market. Not any other palette, not any other pressed pigment, not any other 39 color rainbow palette. That's the one. Hands down, Jeffree Star's formula is just amazing for that. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you guys have a great day.